guys' generous donations, he's going to be doing all levels instead of any percent. While we get the Nightmare set up here, just a quick reminder, this is JRTA number 2, community-driven speedrunning marathon to bring two of our Japanese friends to AGDQ. Becca Red, who will be running Mr. Gimmick and is waitlisted for Wario Land 4, I believe. Certainly no way to confirm if he's going to play that, but definitely will be playing Mr. Gimmick. And Ohan, who will be racing Castlevania 3, as well as playing Mega Man 6. We'd actually already reached our goal of $4,500 thanks to some incredibly generous donations for you guys. So at this point, we are just keeping the marathon going and donating anything that comes in directly to Doctors Without Borders. We still do have a couple of incentives you guys can donate for, namely the character name of Dragon Quest III. 4 characters, they do have to be in Japanese, however. Currently, I believe Twig is winning pretty heftily with a total of $208. Additionally, we have a couple of Final Fantasy VI character names available. Couple of slots have absolutely no money put towards them, and aside from Do the Thing, which at this point we've decided to, thanks to an incredibly generous donation, will be included. The highest donated name is Yuna at $20, so plenty of time to get in on that if you'd like to see a character name in Final Fantasy VI.
What's up, dude?
I need to plug my headphones in.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Nightmare. Hey, Midboss. What's going on, guys?
You mean Midmare?
Night Boss?
Night Boss?
Yes. So, audio is good?
Cass, are we good on audio?
Well, I'm just gonna get ready to start then.
Yeah, Sloop says it's good, just give him a countdown.
Yeah, let me just get through the intro. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is Snapshot. It's a puzzle platformer game on the PC, and the main mechanic is that you can take pictures of stuff and kind of just like move them around and interact with them that way. It gets some really interesting speed tech because of this. Like right here, normally you would just jump off the box and grab the ledge, but it's kind of slow to grab the ledge, so it's really easier to just avoid grabbing ledges when possible. And kind of a big thing right there, you saw me drop the box thing and just hurl it at myself, and I get boosted really fast. So you'll be seeing that a lot. Also, if you noticed, I left the lobby before touching the end, and just skips this cutscene right here. So yeah, I guess these spikes in here in this level, they're insta kill, and I had the box over me and I can't like drop it on top of myself. I'm gonna focus for a bit right now. But yeah, you really can't just drop objects on other objects, so you gotta be careful with that.
So, I see there's a bunch of, other stuff around the game. There's some objects you're picking up that don't look like the boxes that you're supposed to be using to progress in the level. So, what are those objects? What are you using them for?
Yeah, I was actually just gonna mention in that level, the object stuck in the wall. It's like a hidden object. Every level. Oh, I didn't leave that level. It's whatever. It's very small save. Every level has 4 goals. The first one is just to beat the level. Second one is to get every star that you see around and beat the level. Third is to beat it in a certain time window, and the fourth is to have a picture of a certain object when you end the level. So on the one level, the one in the wall, is the specific object. Whenever I take a picture of those objects, you'll hear a nice little jingle, just indicating that that's the item. And another thing that I probably haven't mentioned, you'll see these like red boxes in some parts of levels. It's they're called no photo zones. You just can't take pictures of the objects in there or drop stuff in there. So that's really it's really like one of the main puzzle aspects to it. Kind of limit your freedom of taking objects around. So like right here, I cannot take that guy at all. If you see this face in the wall over there, when anything's over there, it'll move something. So for example, in this level, it'll move the no photo zone. Let me take this away. Really? That's really sad. So yeah, this level is split up into 4 chapters, and every chapter has 9 sets of levels, and a set of level is just 3 levels. So normally, if you want to just beat the game, you just have to beat 5 level sets in. Okay. You have to beat 5 level sets in a chapter, and you'll unlock the next one. But since we met the incentive for all levels, I'm going to be playing the remaining 16 sets as a result. So right there in this level, elephants will push the red boxes, and red boxes are heavy. You can't push them on your own, but you can push blue boxes. But instead of having the elephant push the box into the trigger zone, I just tossed him in there.
Yeah, that's always one of my favorite levels. Just looks hilarious.
You notice that you're launching items into yourself a lot of the time for like a speed boost. Is that an intended mechanic or just a quirk in the physics system you're using?
It's not intended to be used like specifically to beat any puzzle, I don't think. Right?
So there's like a way to beat every level without doing it, but in some levels, I think the bar time on them is just like, I'm not sure how to do it without boosting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, wait, it's kind of weird because the level I'm thinking of actually isn't like a standard object. It's like a projectile. I'll get there when I get there. Explain it better. So for this set of levels, they turn out the lights. So I'm just gonna do this safe. What I just launched over is just a bit of spikes. You can boost from earlier, but I don't feel like dying. did feel like dying.
So I believe this level's pretty hard. This little ball of light that you have to use to boost up is a really small hitbox, which makes this jump really hard.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. You can, like, if you get the ball fast enough and you're landing yourself up, you can just get all the way up in one go, but it's a really thin gap, and the ball is really finicky.
And just a note, when he is taking a single object and repeatedly jumping off of it, it actually gets successively harder every time, because your object keeps falling faster and faster every time you take a picture of it again and use it again, which means you have a smaller window to actually jump off of it. So that means by the fourth jump, you're doing really tight jumps, and it gets really hard.
Yeah. I don't think there's been a lot of really hard sequences of box jumping, but we'll definitely get there later. So right here, this level set introduces these doors, and they just teleport. You go through one, you come out the other. If there's only one door on, you can't enter it at all, so it's not really anything from that. I'm probably gonna forget to read levels a lot. But yeah, I guess I'll reiterate about leaving levels, because if you noticed, I've been doing it on every third level set. I've been leaving to the lobby. And because you hit the goal in like the small transition before going to the lobby, it'll count the level as beaten. It saves like 2 to 3 seconds about every time. So it just adds up a lot because there's 36 sets of levels. Yeah, I'm sorry if I get quiet. Sometimes I'm not sure what there is to talk about.
Yeah, it seems like why this game is so great is it's just a pretty small set of, I don't know, physics things you can use to go fast, and you kind of use them on every level a little differently though. But it's the same core concepts.
So what happened there with the spikes?
Oh, so if you noticed, he hit himself with the red ball and then landed on the spikes and didn't die. So you can effectively do like the Mega Man strategy where you damage boost onto spikes and you do not die.
Yeah, this level set introduces like damaging things, these spike balls and the things that shoot them. They'll just do a tick of damage. You have 4 ticks of damage, and gathering stars will recover it, but it's like really insignificant. And in the other level, there was like a 1-tile gap space, and you have to crouch through them. So normally you need like a box to start the crouch from, but you don't really need it. It's a bit of precise jump to get in there, but it's ultimately faster if you can do it very quickly.
Yeah, that's a pretty big sequence break on some levels, correct?
Actually, you won't see it again until like the end of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. It's got such there's like so few instances of it, but
Yeah.
it can really just mess everything up.
So I'm not sure if we've actually seen how these snowballs are intended to be used, but you're supposed to roll these and make it bigger on the snow. But you know, you can usually just make them go fast and throw them at stuff, which is pretty fun because 'cause it takes a while to let the snowball drop and roll all the way down a hill.
So yeah, an unfortunate thing happened to me. Only one box fell down there, and it moved off the switch, so just couldn't progress, and it's whatever.
So you said there are 36 level sets in the game. How many of those does any percent cover?
Again, it's 5 per chapter, so it would just be 20. So in this level,
For category, do you like this category? Do you like any percent more?
let me just go back to what I was going to say. In this level, they introduced these wall crawlers. They crawl on wall and you can ride them up the wall, but I think I've demonstrated that I don't really need things to crawl me up walls. So yeah, to answer your question, I really do enjoy all levels, because some of the longer levels that wouldn't be played in any percent are some of my favorite.
And what do you think about 100%? It seems like there's a lot of stuff that would take a long time to get.
See, the thing about 100%, in my opinion, is that for pretty much every level, you would have to beat it twice to get the part time, and then a second time to get all the stars in the gallery object. So that level I just did, where I boosted myself with a fireball, that was the level I was referring to. There is like a wall crawler on the thing to the side, but like I'm not sure if I've ever seen that like getting the wall crawler and riding it can beat the level in the time. But yeah, that's the one thing I really do enjoy about this game, is that you can get really creative solutions if you just like want to find them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you've done too many levels the intended way. You kind of just find an object and use it. It's, some way really interesting.
Oh boy. So yeah, I see in the chat, Baron Haynes is talking about this game because a long time ago, he ran it, and like if you like were looking for speedruns of this game, you would find his runs. But like basically recently, I just came with my run, and like just we've collaborated on strats a little now, so it's really good for just optimizing the game as a whole. So yeah, one thing about these crabs are that they may look small, but they can actually push. What?
So he's trying to get him on the ceiling to have him push the box, and he accidentally hit the box out of place. The crawler went above it.
I've never seen that before. Oh my god. So yeah, the mechanics mechanic they introduce in this level are these switches. You turn them on, and things things move as a result. Yeah, right there. That was probably one of the first harder sets of box jumps that I did.
Yes, so I noticed something. You actually use the box to start your crouch. Can you grab those ice blocks or whatever? Or can you not do the like the grab and then the ledge?
Yeah,
thing?
no, blocks you can't grab the ledge of, so you couldn't do that even if you wanted to.
Okay.
But, like, even if you could, doing it with the box would just be better because you have the
Yeah, you
box.
already had it right there.
Alright. I did that without a problem. This level can be a bit tricky just with timing the guys to shoot. If they're off cycle, then both the switches won't be on at the same time.
Oh, I didn't realize that could happen.
And yeah, it's pretty annoying. So if you saw the fireball just disappear there, it didn't really disappear, it collided with the wall. So yeah, as I mentioned, like, when we collaborated with strats, this is just like something I didn't know, that the fireballs could push the heavy blocks, and I never tried. And that was like probably one of the biggest time saves Baron showed me.
That's pretty interesting.
One of the easy big time saves anyway. So in this level, they kind of like reintroduce the switches, but you just need like 3 objects over them at the same time, or like however many objects there are, for things to move. Really, I don't show it off at all. Just skip all of the puzzle of it. Standard.
Yeah.
And that is the end of chapter 2. So getting into chapter 3, this is probably one of the most difficult ones, because every level is open, as in like these pits down here, you fall down them, you hit a kill plane, and you die. So it's pretty easy to die on most of these levels. Also introduce keys and the lock boxes. Just get the key in the locked box, it's pretty straightforward.
I believe there's some fun stuff you can do with those lock boxes in later levels, right?
It'll actually be the next level set, and I will be sure to point that out. You saw on the second level there, I kind of just box jumped over the wall. There are a lot of other walls you'll see similar, but they actually just extend all the way to the top. That one that just got lazy with, so take advantage of it if I can.
So how do these monkeys in this cloud work?
So it's pretty straightforward. You have 2 monkeys and cloud, and the cloud will just move in between them.
Okay, so that makes sense. So why'd you go through the wall?
I didn't really go. Oh, I went through the wall a little. See, the thing is, you have now this platform at your command, so you can just use it to push yourself through walls. How collision works is it just wants to get you out of something as quick as possible. So fortunately with these key boxes, the slot for the key is empty, so they'll just push you there. So like you can really only clip through these in a helpful way.
I think these clips are pretty great.
So if you can see, whenever there are no monkeys on, the cloud will just stop. So you kind of saw in the second level I could just keep the cloud moving by repeatedly placing the monkeys down and picking them up. So this set of level is pretty short. You get introduced to these clouds, and they're just like floating platforms, pretty much. They have
they're not flat hitbox, or they're not box
Yeah,
hitboxes, though, right? They're
they have
spheres, maybe,
like
or circles.
weird geometry on them. So in those two levels, I tried to land on more of the cornerish of them, because if you do so, you get boosted and get a massive horizontal speed gain from it. Alright, let's
It's good.
I didn't die. That's more than I could have asked for. So now you get introduced to these cute little rabbit things. They just move back and forth for a certain amount of time. When you're on them,
These are dogs.
I'm sorry, cute little rabbit things.
Yeah, they're dogs, right?
My god, dude. Just look at them. The set of the level is called bunny hopping. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
They're larger than you, and they look like someone turned a rabbit into a couch.
Oh my. Okay, fine. It's a dog. Whatever. I don't really care. Call it whatever you want. Jesus. Alright, so in this level set, you get introduced to vanishing clouds. After a while of being out, they just disappear. Whatever. That's a...
This is one of the hardest jumps in the game if you go all the way up, right?
Yeah, it's like 5, I think. Yeah, it's like 5. So you're supposed to catch the cloud falling the first time it falls before it hits the no photo zone, but I missed it. It's not a big deal, and you can still make it over the spikes. Alright, so up next is mid-boss's favorite creature,
Oh, please land right.
the Sky Hippo. I'll leave you to judge
Dude,
that
we
one.
did it! He lands upside down and he just like poops out white balls at you. It's so good.
You know what? I suddenly don't care about couch dog anymore.
Right?
Yeah, these hippos just spit out 3 balls, so they do damage, they push you, it's fun. And they spin them out from like the same position no matter how they're oriented, so you can have some fun with that. Coming up, this is probably one of my favorite sets in Chapter 3. Because you get wind. And wind is pretty fun.
So how does it work? You take a picture of the wind and you can just place it anywhere. Can you? I see you're taking multiple pictures. You can do the same wind multiple pictures.
So you get like a wind source, and that won't go away. But your copy. I'm just gonna restart this level. Your copies of the wind force will go away after a while. So.
Okay. Yeah, is it possible to crash the game with too much wind?
Probably. You can make the game run incredibly slow. But I don't think I've ever straight up crashed it.
What are ways you can crash this game? I've heard there are a couple, such as maybe hitting a new game button. Trying to do anything, really. I'm honestly surprised you're still running the game.
So, I get to explain this one.
What?
I'm done.
Good run, everybody. Yeah, nah. This game is slightly buggy out here.
About crashing the game. Anyway, let me explain what I did that didn't crash the game. It doesn't normally crash the game. In the first level, after hitting the goal, I turned around and faced to the left and kind of positioned myself in a way. And very briefly, and before like completely loading the next level, it loaded where you were in position, like on the new level, but from where you were in the old level. It turns out in that level, if you line it up, you can grab a corner just near the end, and since the game says like you're on the corner, it just throws you over there as fast as possible. But the problem is you collide with that wall, but really that's probably better that way. You just jump to the end from there. It's a nice time save. I'm really happy I got that. That doesn't happen often.
I'm really happy the game crashed.
So am I. But unfortunately that happens often.
So, what are the known ways to purposefully crash the game?
So upcoming in Chapter 4, they'll be introducing this stuff. I'll mention it when I get there. Other ways to crash the game. When you first load up the game, you're given an option of continue a new game when you have like a file already loaded. Going to new game and selecting yes crashes the game. It is by far the silliest thing I've ever seen.
So when you're speedrunning and you need to make a new game, what do you do?
You load a game and hit continue and select a new game from within. And this also does a lot of other things. When you boot up the game and it's a new game, the game just behaves differently. When you try to go through chapter transitions, they'll actually deny you. They'll push you out, and then you have to walk back in. It's
Yeah, I
really
believe
silly.
between the chapter transitions you can do other pretty weird stuff. It's not even just crashing the game, right?
I'm not even sure. So right there, I gave the door some speed and launched it over a spike pit to get through quickly. It's one of my favorite strats.
I also believe when you're practicing and you hit a restart level, you have a chance of just randomly crashing the game. Is that correct?
So yeah, as I mentioned before, when they load you into a level, they have your old position, and if that's like on top of the end of the level, you'll hit it. And it'll like say you hit the level, but it won't give you credit for beating the level. You'll just be stuck, and like this thing will happen with all the stars will converge on you, but you'll just be stuck. You can't move, you can't open the menu. It's a nice soft block, it happens very frequently. So in the second level, I tried to give that box like a lot of speed by dropping it, picking it back up 4 times. You can just like launch yourself all the way across the level. Looks really nice, but it's a bit difficult. So like the new puzzle mechanic they mentioned, introduce in the first level set are these green squares. When an object is within a green square, you pick it up, you'll get a copy of that object, and like the original will just stay in this green square. In this next level, you'll see it. There's a switch down there, and you just take the fireball, copy it. So yeah. So from here on out, there's like one of my favorite mechanics ever, magnets. You can have a lot of fun with magnets, just picking up and dropping them in front of you.
A lot of these levels are the ones you'd be skipping in any percent, right? Some of these really fun magnet levels.
So actually on this level set, what I tried to do in the beginning was land on the corner. And if you land on like the exact corner, it kind of acts as a slant and it'll like boost you off a bit and you'll be able to jump and clear the gap. It's a pretty big time save compared to what I did. This is something else Baron showed me. Before it, I did hit it, okay, whatever. Before it, I would have skipped this level set, because it would have been slower than other ones I found. But getting it that would be the fastest level set. But it's an insanely precise trick.
Yeah. It seems like just these magnets are just really cool. It seems pretty technical. You have to place them down and then pick them up before they pull you back away from where you're traveling. Just looks really fun.
So yeah, now we're back to squeezing into the gap. Fortunately, this one went a lot better than the first one. This is one of my favorite level sets. They put these magnets up in front of spikes so that if you try to walk across it, they'll just throw you into the spikes. But if you jump into it like that, you'll just get across. So I find that really funny, pretty creative. So, in this level set, they introduce these electrons. They'll like give one current, and you have to put electrons down and have the current move through them. When certain electrons get current, they'll move into a photo zone, but the currents move really slow, so you'll find me just
you don't actually have to do that.
moving out away from all of them, like right there. Also, this is the first level set that introduces red magnets that push you away. But yeah, right there they had a stack of 4 on top of each other, so there's like no way you should be able to get through them. They're pushing you out. But if you just get enough speed and land on the ground, they really just don't push you. You can walk from the ground. I find that one of really interesting parts is that like once you're inside a red magnet on the ground, you're like home free. Another kind of slow mechanic they introduce are these bombs. Right there, I missed jumping over it. You can jump over the stack. It's a bit awkward to get because the box is moving down and you have an awkward jump approach. It's not a big deal missing it, but yeah. Bombs explode and they push things. but seeing as you have to wait on bomb explosions most of the time, I think that it's pretty slow. Right there, you can get the bomb before it explodes, and then use it to like blast yourself like all the way across.
And the intended way to beat these levels is using these bombs explosion to blast up here, right?
This level is definitely the intended solution. There's like nothing else to do. On most of the other levels, it's have it blow away the red boxes, but I showed that off on the first level. It's okay. So one thing that like has never been seen is this little sign with you on it. Pretty much you have to stand on it instead of like any object like the other ones. I'll put all four. But like you can't just sit around standing all day, it's way too slow. And again, just more fun with magnets. So bringing up the topic of crashes.
Oh boy.
They'll let you clone yourself in the green boxes. You can do it in any green box, but in this level and the next set, solutions revolve around it. So on this level, I kill my clone and just use him to boost me. It's kind of brutal, but I'm on a mission.
So you said you can crash the game using this somehow?
Yes. If you have a clone in your camera or in your pictures, sometimes the game will just crash when you finish the level.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like if you like recapture a clone that you've already dropped, you can. It's like almost guaranteed. Oh, that's a shame. So right now, for the heck of it, I killed that guy in the pit. I'm really mean, but sometimes your clone will crouch before he dies, and if he does, your camera gets locked in this state of unable to use it. Because when you're crouching, you can't take or drop pictures. Nice. This is actually the last like beatable level, and I'm gonna focus actually before saying anything. This isn't normally hard, but I'm the master of choking, turns out. You know what? I'm going for backup.
So if you pretty much just need your feet to be on the ground where the magnet is, and then it affects you less, right? So I assume you can jump
Yes.
onto the light corner.
Alright. I never do that jump ever, but I got it. And look, I still beat the part time. So time will be when the screen like starts fading away after this transition here. So recently I found out on these monitors they kind of explain the backstory. Time. Or they like explain the story of this game. Those monitors are actually like incredibly difficult to read.
Did they crash the game?
Yes.
Looks like it was 4111.
Really? That's pretty disappointing.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Your game
I-
crashed.
Oh,
hey,
that
you did have a crash. What's your PB for the category?
For this category, it is a low 38. But a lot of things did go wrong. A lot more than I'd like. But I haven't been able to beat it because the game's impossible. Also, this credit music is probably my favorite in the whole game.
Going back to the game crashing real quick, can we all just take a moment to admire your desktop again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think the entire soundtrack for this game is pretty good. It's just nice and relaxing.
So because of the all levels, my end game percentage should be 66%. Turns out they like count your star count that you got over like the total amount, and not just like the medals you get for every level set. 66% every time. See you next time.